Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching CNN Indonesia Prime News, Generation Z's contribution on implementing gender equality on a daily basis with me, Andrea. As a generation that was born in the midst of advanced technological developments, making Generation Z the frontliner in responding to an issue in society. Generation Z is considered more tolerant on issues of race, sexuality, and diversity, and they are quite critical and active in enforcing justice. One of the social inequalities that still occurs around us is that there is no gender equality applied in the work environment. Creating a safe workplace is a crucial thing in supporting women workers to have the same opportunities as men so that the potential of women workers can be maximized through policies and initiatives in the scope of gender equality. As human beings who live side by side, education is needed for the community to be aware of the importance of gender equality in our environment. Equal does not mean that women have to work as hard as men, but women's rights must be fulfilled as men get their rights. Even though the number of female workers continues to grow, women are often hung up in building careers due to various problems that are unique to their gender, such as ranging from double burdens, stereotypes, differences in wages, job opportunities, and many others. The International Labour Organization, or ILO, survey in July 2020 found that women workers in Indonesia receive 23% less wages than men. In addition, less than 50% of women work as professionals and only 30% of them reach managerial positions, according to the same survey. This survey proves that there is a gap between men and women in the work environment. Amy Susanti, as a member of the Small and Micro Business Assistant Association, or ASPPUK, highlighted that economic justice for women is still far from being realized. She explained that economic justice and economic equality for women were far behind. This can be seen from the Employment Opportunity Participation Index for Indonesian women, which is in position 99 out of 156 countries assessed. Data shows that as many as 35.7% of the 270.2 million Indonesian population are women of productive age with a lower female labor force participation rate than men. KPPPA data noted in 2019 employment opportunities for men reached 88%, while women only 51.88%. This shows that there is a big gap between men and women in terms of job opportunities, as what Amy Susanti said. With the wide distribution of information, the accuracy data, and the easy access to technology, Generation Z is more responsive in handling a case. In this case, the level of awareness of gender equality in Indonesia is slowly starting to improve. And these are all real actions from the younger generation who are sensitive to gender equality. There is so much information published about feminism, gender equality, and awareness to work together without gender discrimination. Many young Indonesian activists also voice over this social gap. The ease of all access in the digital era makes Generation Z a pioneer in social change in society. The more forms of socialization provided, the more educated citizens. This generation is also frontal in voicing issues to the government, with petitions being filed, democracy being implemented, and urging the government to pass laws that protect women from other forms of crime and discrimination. Generation Z encourages the ratification of the RKUHP as a form of protection from the government for citizens. Moving on to the next news today, Generation Z's role in enforcing human rights in community. One of the rights of citizens in carrying out life is freedom of religion and belief. Feeling safe and peaceful in believing your religion is a state guarantee for its citizens. Adhering to religion is also a human right. Every religious adherent is not entitled to receive discriminatory treatment from other individuals. Even so, there are still forms of discrimination against minorities. This is not in line with Pancasila values. Therefore, norms and moral values should be instilled in the nation's children from an early age. However, little do we know that Generation Z is a generation that is highly tolerant and respectful. A survey conducted by the International NGO Forum on Indonesia Development, or INVID, with the Demographic Institute of the Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Indonesia, stated that Indonesia tends to be tolerant. Those who are survey respondents are millennials and Generation Z in 36 districts and cities in 18 provinces. There were 1,200 respondents involved in the survey. As a result, there are indications of a positive attitude towards religious inclusiveness, said Abdul Waidi, INVIT's Senior Program Officer for Human Rights and Democracy, in a press release Thursday, July 14. More than 70% of Generation Z respondents support the existence of places of worship for religious minorities in schools. Then 97% agree that all citizens, regardless of religion, should have equal rights before the state, including the opportunity to work or to open a business. Generation Z's roles in enforcing human rights in the community are to open discussion forums or human rights enforcement communities in which they can exchange their ideas and practice critical thinking, and to observe around whether there are cases of bullying and help to protect victims so that they want to speak up about the cases that happen to them without being burdened. As we know, there have been many seminars held in order to raise awareness, to tolerate and give human rights to other people. The attitude of Generation Z also confirms that interfaith tolerance has increased rapidly in recent years. As research shows that attitudes of tolerance exist among young Indonesians, there is hope that these attitudes are likely to continue in the future. This is Andrea reporting news from CNN Indonesia Studio Jakarta. See you and thank you.